Hello friends, welcome back to my channel MedVision. Today's video is based about the branches of the axillary artery. So let's get started. This video is the continuation of the first part of the axillary artery. To watch the first part, click on to the I button. Now let us look at the branches of the axillary artery. This is the sternum. We have clavicle, scapula, and the humerus bone. These are the costal cartilages of the respective bones, and we have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth bone. This green color muscle is the pectoralis minor muscle. This is the axillary artery. Above this level, it is called as the subclavian artery, and below this level, it is called as the brachial artery. It is divided into three parts: the first, the second, and the third part. Branches of the axillary artery. The axillary artery gives 6 branches. One branch arises from the first part, 2 branches arises from the second part, and 3 branches arises from the third part. Let us look at each of them. The first branch is the superior thoracic artery. The superior thoracic artery is a very small branch which arises from the first part of the axillary artery near the subclavius muscle. It runs downwards, forwards, and medially. It passes between the two pectoral muscles and ends by supplying these pectoral muscles and the thoracic wall. This is the superior thoracic artery. The second branch is the thoracoacromial artery, which is also called as the acromiothoracic artery. The thoracoacromial artery is a branch from the second part of the axillary artery. It emerges from the upper border of the pectoralis minor muscle, pierces the clavipectoral fascia, and soon divides into 4 terminal branches. These are the 4 terminal branches. To know more about the clavipectoral fascia, click on to the I button. The 4 terminal branches are the pectoral branch, the deltoid branch, the acromion branch, and the clavicular branch. The pectoral branch passes between the pectoral muscles and supplies the pectoral muscle as well as the breast. This is the pectoral branch. The deltoid branch runs into the deltopectoral groove along with the cephalic vein. The deltopectoral groove is a groove present between the deltoid muscle and the pectoralis major muscle. The acromial branch crosses the coracoid process of the scapula and ends by anastomosis around the acromion. This is the acromial branch. The clavicular branch runs superomedially deep to the pectoralis major muscle and supplies the sternoclavicular joint and the subclavius muscle. This is the clavicular branch of the thoracoacromial artery. The third branch is the lateral thoracic artery. It is a branch which arises from the second part of the axillary artery. It emerges at and runs along the lower border of the pectoralis minor muscle. This artery is found in close relation with the anterior group of axillary lymph node. In females, this artery is large and it gives off the lateral mammary branches to the breast. This is the lateral thoracic artery. The fourth branch is called as the anterior circumflex humeral artery. This is the anterior circumflex humeral artery. It is a small branch arising from the third part of the axillary artery at the lower border of the subscapularis muscle. It passes laterally in front of the intertubercular sulcus of the humerus. Somewhat here we have the intertubercular sulcus of this humerus bone, and it anastomoses with the posterior circumflex humeral artery to form an arterial circle around the surgical neck of the humerus. It gives off an ascending branch which runs into the intertubercular sulcus and supplies the head of the humerus and the shoulder joint. This is the anterior circumflex humeral artery. The fifth branch is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. It is much larger than the anterior artery. It arises from the third part of the axillary artery at the lower border of the subscapularis muscle. It runs backward, accompanied by the axillary nerve, passes through the quadrangular intermuscular space. The quadrangular intermuscular space is a space which is found at the back of the body. The space is formed by three muscles and the humerus. The three muscles involved are the teres minor muscle, the teres major muscle, and the lateral border of the long head of triceps brachii. This is the quadrangular space. The light green color muscle is the teres minor muscle. The yellow color muscle is the teres major muscle, whereas this bluish color muscle is the long head of triceps brachii and ends by anastomosing with the anterior circumflex humeral artery around the surgical neck of the humerus. It supplies the shoulder joint, the deltoid muscle, and the muscle bounding the quadrangular space. It gives off a descending branch which anastomoses with the ascending branch of the profunda brachii artery. The sixth branch is the subscapular artery. This is the subscapular artery. It is the largest branch of the axillary artery and it arises from the third part of the axillary artery. It runs along the lower border of the subscapularis muscle to terminate near the inferior angle of the scapula. It supplies the latissimus dorsi and the serratus anterior muscle. The latissimus dorsi muscle is the muscle of the back, whereas the serratus anterior muscle is the muscle of the pectoral region. It gives off a large branch named the circumflex scapular artery. This is the circumflex scapular artery. This is larger than the continuation of the main artery. It passes through the triangular intermuscular space. The upper triangular space is the space found at the back of the body. It is formed from three muscles. The three muscles involved are the teres minor muscle, the teres major muscle, and the long head of triceps brachii muscle. This is the upper triangular space. This green color muscle is the teres minor muscle. This yellow color muscle is the teres major muscle, and this bluish color muscle is the long head of triceps brachii muscle and takes part in anastomosis around the scapula. I hope you find this video helpful. Do like, share and comment to my channel.